For practice problem number 1, we were told to graph the line that represented the following function, or this linear equation that we're given. It says y equals 3/2 x plus 2. And then they give us some directions on how we can digitally graph an equation using this Google Documents drawing. I'm going to focus on this equation, y equals 3/2 x plus 2, and extracting the necessary information I need from that equation to be able to create a graph. We're going to do that on the whiteboard. So as we full screen here, our equation y equals 3/2 x plus 2. And we've used some colors to help you recognize that in this y equals mx plus b form, y equals mx plus b form that we kind of have here, the b is our y-intercept. The positive 2, that's the y value. If you were to make x 0 and this term disappears, y has to be 2. So we know our y-intercept is 2, or we could even recognize that as when x is 0, the y value is going to be 2, a positive 2. That's what that plus 2 for the y-intercept tells me. The slope, m, is the coefficient of x. Every time we change x by 1, what is it going to do to y? In this case, y is going to increase by 3/2 because every x is going to get times by 3/2 as a coefficient. That means our slope is 3/2. And we'll remind you that slope is really rise over run when we're talking about graphs. The y value will increase by 3, will move up by 3 units every time the x value moves to the right or increases by 2 units of run. So that can help us graph. The y-intercept is 2, the slope is 3/2. So if we take a look at this graph now, I'm going to use the strategy. I know the y-intercept is positive 2, so the first point I'm going to go ahead and plot is the y-intercept. Take this point. When x is 0, y has to be 2 for this equation. And then at this point, I'm going to use the slope, a rise over run of 3/2. That tells me the next point. If we increase x by 2 units, we move 2 units, we're going to rise 3 units on the y every time x increases by 2 units. 2 times 3/2 would give us 3. 3 plus 2 would give us 5. So we see this first point here, y increases by 3 as x runs or increases by positive 2. We could use that slope to put one more point. Again, we would move up by 3 units for the y value each time x increases by 2 units. And then at that point, we'd just graph the line by making a straight line through all 3 points. On Google Documents, the key, see these 2 blue points at the end of the red line? Those are what let me drag the ends. So I can put one here. The other one needs to drag through that y-intercept down here. Now we'll just straighten this out a little bit. Now we have a line that runs straight through all 3 of these points. And this equation, y equals 3/2 x plus 2. This graph is showing us lots of other possible solutions. Each point on the red line would be another solution pair for this equation up here.